I want you to hear this one from the horse's mouth. I've already done a couple of videos about title fraud. I talked about Graceland and how that one went down, broke that down. She was able to stop the foreclosure. But in some cases, people are not finding out about this until after the foreclosure has taken place and they find out they no longer own their home and that there are all of these mortgages that have been recorded on their home. Well, in this Eight on Your Side, from WFLA.com. I want you to hear directly from this fraudster who was on the FBI's wanted list on how this works. And you just got to listen to this story.
Pages. Now, this fraudster tells me all he needs is a couple of sheets of documents, and he can be making thousands off your home while you're living in it without you ever knowing.
I have had 27 driver's licenses in 6 or 7 different states.
Matthew Cox is settled in the Bay Area after spending more than a decade in federal prison.
I was basically responsible for $15 million in title fraud.
According to the FBI, it's one of the fastest growing white collar crimes in the country, especially in areas like Tampa, where the housing market is hot.
In about a month, I borrowed $1.3 million on 2 houses. Oh, it's just paperwork. It's all paperwork. Okay. If you can fill out paperwork, you can do this. This is not difficult.
He tells me criminals who know the right public records to request and fill out can start making money on your home in a matter of weeks.
I satisfy the loan. Now that you own the house free and clear, I make a fake ID in your name. I open up a few bank accounts. I apply for some loans in your name. I borrow 3 or 4 mortgages on your house in your name, close those mortgages in your name, deposit the money in the bank, pull the money out, and maybe 3 months later, they start to foreclose on you.
Cox says by the time you realize what's happening, he's already on to his next victim.
Nobody realizes how vulnerable they are until it happens, and then it's too late.
And so in order to protect yourself, what Cox says is that you need to be checking your home title routinely on a monthly or even weekly basis, which he says is something most people don't do. He tells me another really good option is to hire a company like Home Title Lock. What they're going to do is they're going to do those routine checks for you. And then if something does happen or something unusual pops up, then they'll hire a lawyer, I should say, and they'll advocate for you in court.
All right. That's exactly what I said in the last video that I did. It is going to have to become this thing where on a monthly basis, just like when you're paying out your bills, if you still have a mortgage on your house, you pay that mortgage and then you go online and see if there are any new mortgages that have been recorded. Look for those deeds of trust. Have they been recorded on your property? And it's awful that we now have to take this on, but if we don't, this is what happens. This is what can happen to you. And so she's exactly right. Now, in this particular instance, this guy was out there doing, getting the license. Here he says, getting the fake license and then going ahead and applying for mortgages. But the thing about it is, in most cases, somebody has to notarize your signature. So that is always the second question. Is this notary someone who's being vigilant? Are they really looking at that license to see if that's the person? And if that person is looking at it and saying, hey, yeah, that looks like him. I saw the license. Now that person's notary certificate is in jeopardy because even though that guy was a fake and a fraud, the expectation is that you're looking at this and you're really trying to see. You could be in trouble. You could be in trouble also. I'm telling you, this is a 24/7 job that these scammers have. And he is right. We're going to have to be vigilant. We're going to have to be looking at our titles, looking at our credit reports. We're just going to have to be looking at this stuff every month. Now, I will do some research on this company that she talked about and some other companies out there to see if this might be helpful, something that we can use, because think about it. Do you really have time to be looking this up every month? Are you really going to remember this every month with everything else that you have going on in your life? Sure, we can all say, yes, this needs to be a priority if you want to keep your house. If you want to keep your house, make this a priority. But when you got a lot of other things you're trying to do, it can fall through the cracks. So again, just highlighting how vigilant we have to be now. All right, if this brings you up to speed, I cannot talk about this enough, all these things that we need to be looking at. Cannot talk about it enough. If this gives you some more information, not trying to make you scared, but if this gives you some more information, please go ahead, like the video and subscribe. Mwah. Peace.